match. The King is going to be defending today against Doug Gilbert.
Ooh, yes, that'll be a biggie. And I'm sure that somewhere down the line we'll be talking and reviewing all of the problems that Brandon Baxter has gotten himself into before this day is over with.
He has not had a very good run in the USWA so far. And also, Stephen Dunn will be here today. I believe the first time we've had Stephen in some time on USWA Championship Wrestling on TV.
Yep, that's exactly right. First time back on television. Gambler complaining to referee Bill Rush about the tights being pulled. Brian Christopher, the too sexy man, just took a knee right to the midsection. Gambler turns that arm up and over into a bar. Hooks him with a standing side headlock. As Brian Christopher not getting off to a very quick start.
No, he isn't. He's had a rough week or two around here. Of course, Brian has been involved with some vicious matches with Billy Jack Haynes around the USWA. It looks like maybe he's gotten a little bit better focused against the Gambler here, though. Gambler taking just a moment, calling the referee over, complains he had his tights pulled. I wouldn't put it past Brian, but I don't think he did.
No, the crowd is saying no way. Billy Jack Haynes coming out here right now with the USWA heavyweight belt right there with him. And he is out here. What, are you observing your toughest competition, Brian Christopher?
No, I'm not observing my toughest competition. What I'm observing is a man that's full of fear. Now, I know he's been over at Randy Hill's house on his knees begging not to wrestle the new USWA champion, Billy Jack Haynes. He can't carry my jockstrap. Like I said, no one in the USWA can. Mr. Announcer, Mr. Great Lance Russell.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You're going to have to do a lot more convincing to that young man up there, because he is not over there begging anybody not to put it. He wants a return match.
Look at what the Gambler is doing to this man right now. And you think he's qualified even to wrestle Billy Jack Haynes?
That's not up to me. That is up to Randy Hales and Eddie Marlin and the people who make the title match. Whoa, the Gambler dishing a right hand. Popped him upside the head. Gambler is coming on very strong with Brian right at the moment. And he hammers the head right smack into that top turnbuckle. Billy Jack Haynes, who won the title from Brian Christopher, and we've got to add the word, a controversial win. He's got the belt, we're not denying that, as the Gambler just rattled the cage. 1, 2, whoa! He's close today, Dave.
He sure is.
Looking good.
Why is the weatherman so quiet?
Watching the margin. Gambler misses. There's that super kick. Are you ready for it? Brian Christopher pops it up and snaps Gambler over the shoulder down on the mat. He's starting to throw a little fear around.
Oh, no fear. I'm the only man showing fear in the USWA. If I got to show it right now, I don't care about no kangaroos.
Christopher! Fly. Hey, come on, Billy Jack. Well, what else did I expect? Jumps up in the ring.
Look out, Gambler rolls Brian Christopher from behind. Count of 1, 2. Brian reverses it. 1, 2, 3. He got him. Brian Christopher gets the victory. Billy Jack now up on the apron. Brian Christopher wisely out of the ring. And he says, too smart for this. I'm getting out of here. We're going to do the same.
We'll get out of here and be back in just a moment. Bout right here today on USWA Wrestling is a 1-fall, 10-minute time limit here today. First introducing wrestling out of Miami, Florida, at 232 pounds, Brickhouse Brown.
His opponent today, wrestling out of the Pacific Northwest at 280 pounds, making his way to the ring area from Portland, Oregon, it's Billy Jack Haynes. Frank Morrell is referee for this one. One fall, 10-minute time limit. We're ready.
Neither of them appeared too anxious to get here for this match. I tell you, Brickhouse Brown got his work cut out for him against a very unpleasant Billy Jack Haynes. I haven't seen the man in a good mood since he's been in the USWA.
Isn't that the truth? And I'll tell you, he particularly was not in a good mood after his plan to interfere and jump Brian Christopher while he was in the match with the Gamblers did not work out. And Brian, on a nice reversal, ended up getting the victory over the Gambler, and Billy Jack kind of had egg on his face. Brickhouse showing Billy Jack there's more than one tough guy in the USWA.
That's exactly right. Brickhouse Brown, as longtime wrestling fans will tell you, if Billy Jack is looking past him, then Billy Jack has made a serious mistake. Brickhouse Brown will take the measure of him if he's not careful. Side suplex puts Billy Jack on the mat. Brickhouse making a mistake there, taking a little time to celebrate. He's over climbing the ropes. Billy Jack on his feet. There's Brickhouse. Rings off. Billy Jack moves out of the way.
He took a shot at him off that rope, and that could have been the actual turn right there because he had the USWA heavyweight champ going and missed the big one off that rope, and Haynes now is just the kind of a guy who's capable of taking over and turning it around. Breaks his back across that knee, and Brickhouse Brown going from having all of it going his way. There's that short arm scissors, right? I mean, the clothesline, short clothesline as he popped him and really knocked him back down. But what a change in just that one move, Dave.
Now, when Brickhouse missed coming off the ropes, I mean, it just shook up everything. His mental attitude, he no longer had things going his way. And also, of course, physically, when you land after coming down about 5 or 6 feet off those ropes, and, of course, he's standing up, so he's actually totally falling farther than that. And it's nothing but the mat when he had planned on knocking Billy Jack down. There's a count of 2. Boy, very close to a 3 count, yeah. And that could have been a bad mistake by Billy Jack Haynes.
That just shows you the kind of, uh-oh.
I'm going to show you what fear and humiliation is right now.
Well, go right ahead. I guarantee you one thing. He's got me convinced. He is a rough son of a gun. Look at that hip toss. Took old Brickhouse way up in the air and pounded him down. He had a 2 count on him and then picked him up. Drops with the elbow. 1, 2, 3. No, he picked him up again, Dave.
That's the second time he's done that. Telling you, that's dangerous against a guy like Brickhouse Brown. The chop across the chest. Ooh.
You can see down the sides of the wrestling attire that Billy Jack, with a choke slam, he pounds him. 1, 2, and once again, Billy Jack picks him up. And the referee, Frank Morrell, says ring the bell. And Billy Jack Haynes gets up and shoves Frank Morrell back. And Billy Jack says, it doesn't stop till I say it doesn't stop. Christopher jumps in the ring. Jack Haynes. Well, if that's what fear in somebody's eyes looks like, Billy Jack, I don't want him coming after me, afraid. Christopher whips him into the ropes, nails him with that clothesline, and the champion down on the floor running for cover as Brian Christopher came out and hammered away on Billy Jack Haynes. And now Brian...
Twice from behind. You gutless punk from behind. You're mine before the morning's over. Your mind stay tuned.
Billy Jack Haynes saying he jumped him from behind. I'll tell you one thing, Haynes evidently got to have a different set of rules. Brian.
Come here for a second, Lance. I guess he don't like it too much.
Billy Jack, I guess you don't like being jumped from behind. Well, that's what you've done to me week after week. So now it was a time for a little bit of his own medicine. How about it, Lance? I'm going to be doing that each and every time I see you, Billy Jack, because I'm sick and I'm tired of you thinking you can come in here and run over me and everybody else just because you've been a tough guy in other places. Well, brother, from now on, you're going to see the Brian Christopher that all these people have seen before. The one that will cheat, the one that will break the rules, and the one that will jump you from behind. So get ready, tough guy.
I didn't see that fear in Brian Christopher's eye. Oh, no! Just when he turned his back to walk out of here, Haynes runs out, hammers him right down on the floor, and now he's got a board he got from over behind the curtain, grabs a hold of Christopher and rams him. Oh, man. Now, that's what you call jumping from behind. Christopher never had a chance. He was complaining about Brian getting him from behind. Billy Jack pounded him with that big board, slamming down on him. Oh, God. And he just keeps hammering Brian Christopher with that board.
Hey, come on,
Grab him. Get him out of here. He's gone nuts. Hey, don't come on over here. We're going to take a break. No, we don't want any more. Take a break. We'll be back here in a minute. Tell you what, I think Billy Jack Haynes has got a bigger surprise in store for him than he knows. That Brian Christopher, I don't like everything Brian does, but brother, I'll tell you one thing, he sticks up for himself, and he's not afraid of Billy Jack Haynes.
Well, that's true. And Billy Jack Haynes can talk about being jumped from behind all he wants to. He does enough jumping from behind as we just saw right here.
Brandon Baxter. Oh, I love that name. Well, I tell you, Brandon's run into all kind of trouble. Tar and feather. He got involved in a stretcher match. We got a few feet of it. Let's take a look.
Big Fish is going to finish him off, Lance. Sid setting him up for that power bomb. Oh, power bomb caught up. And Brandon Baxter shattered in the middle of his ring. I feel sorry in a sense for the young guy, but his big mouth just loaded it up, and he asked for it. In the air, another power bomb. Down he goes. Ooh, man. He busted him. 1, 2, 3, 11:34. 11 minutes, 34 seconds. The winners, Vicious, Dundee, Christopher, and Lawler. The loser of the stretcher match to be carried out, Brandon Baxter. Well, I hate to say it, but you did ask for it. Now, you got your mouth running in there. You ended up in the ring, and here you are on crutches now.
Look at me now. I would have never thought when I first came to the USWA that something like this would happen. And to think that these people out here are so sadistic that they want to see me hurt. They want to see my bones broken. They want to see me left in the middle of a ring. Bill Dundee, Jerry Lawler, Brian Christopher, are you proud of what you've done? Are you proud that I've been in pain? You probably are. Brandon. Well, guys, since I've been in the USWA, I've been tarred and feathered. I've been burned. I've been tombstoned and put in a body bag, power bombed and carried on a stretcher, and you're happy. Well, listen here. Now it's time for someone to get hurt. You listen to me. You can call up the Sid Viciouses. You can call up anybody else that you want to call, but don't think that Brandon Baxter doesn't have friends, because I've got friends. I'm going to go back to that dressing room, and I'm going to call them. And anyone who messes with the Legend Slayers from now on is going to be hurt a lot worse than I am right now.
Every time you say that, you just end
Lance
up in
Russell, do not interrupt. Brandon, listen. Doug and I know we've been around the USWA a long time. See, this here, Jerry Lawler, Randy Hale, Eddie Marlin, Lance Russell, and even you, Dave Brown, would love to see this man in a body cast. That's the way they are around here. They're sick and they're sadistic. So listen, Doug, we're going to have to tighten it up one notch. Brandon, we got your back, brother.
You know what it is, Lance Russell? Look at this man right here. Look at this man right here. See all these redneck moron idiots over here think this is a big joke that a man of his quality can be hurt. Now, see, like he said, Jerry Lawler burned him. Brian Christopher super kicked him. Well, boys, as sure as my name is Dangerous Doug, starting right here today, payback is going to be hell because the Legend Slayers are taking over the USWA and Brandon Baxter will be in charge and there will be no more pain for this man here. You can bet your life on that, old man.
Well, we will see. I can only say that when you come around and you start running your mouth off and you're going to jump on people and do all of this, you may end up just like Brandon Baxter. Let's go to the ring. Corey Macklin.
Brian Lee's fixing to show you a little bit of what's going to happen from now on.
Okay, Corey. All right, here we go. Well, Brian Lee, primetime Brian Lee and Mr. Clyde underway already.
Well, Corey got out of there just in time. Brian Lee attacking Mr. Clyde, not waiting for the introductions or anything. I listened to that whole Brandon Baxter thing, and Brian Lee's right about one thing. I don't feel sorry for Mr. Baxter. He brought it all on himself.
Every single bit of it. Don't like to see anybody abused.
Whoa. Whoa. Speaking of abuse.
Yes. Brian Lee heaved him with a third of the way. And look at Baxter over there pounding, and he's wondering why anybody wants to see him hurt. Beating on him with that in the air and down. He's on the crutches, and he used one of them to pound on him with. Look at Brian Lee sail it off with a knee down. Count of one, count of two. Didn't take long. He won't stop. Come on. And now here's Jimmy Harris. The Iron Man jumps in there. He's got to add his nickel and a dime to it.
After the match is well over.
Yes.
Man, 2 against 1 against Mr. Clyde.
Don't want to hear it. We're going to take a break. Yeah, I know. You bet. There's a lot more where you got it, too.
Well, we're ready for action right here in the ring. 1 fall, a 10-minute time limit. He is unhailing from Memphis, Tennessee, 219 pounds, Ken Raper. His opponent today, 232 pounds, out of Dallas, Texas, back in the USWA, it's Stephen Dunn. Frank Morrell is referee. Back to Lance and Dave.
A lot of wrestling fans know Stephen Dunn is part of the tag team Well Done. He's been here today wrestling as a single against Ken Raper. Good to have him back. He's been in the area before, but it's been some time. Tell you what, he is going to be going against a guy who can really give him some trouble in Ken Raper here today. Steve Dunn trying to take control early.
Let's take a listen right now, Dave, and see what Stephen Dunn had to say just a little bit earlier.
Hey, everybody, I just want to say it's great to be back in the USWA. You know, the greatest competition in the world is right here in the USWA. But let me tell you something. I've been all over the world traveling, and I'm back here for a reason. And that reason is to win titles for all the great fans here in the USWA area. And Monday night, right here, we've got a big match signed. First things first, I'm taking on Buddy Landell for the Smoky Mountain Championship. I'll tell you right now, people, I'm here to make you a promise. I'm bringing the belt to the people.
Stephen Dunn with Ken Raper down on the mat. Has that arm barred right up tight at the shoulder, moves it into a hammer and puts it underneath. where he's got also a little wrist lock holding in, Dave.
Yes, indeed. Frank Morrell right there, making sure everything's okay, and it is. Arm still hammered up behind the back of Ken Raper. Back on his feet. He's going to have a tough time figuring a way to get out of this one. He's got a good idea, though, as he drives Stephen Dunn back to the turnbuckles. Referee is right there to call for a break. It's Raper that doesn't break it clean, though, as he nails Stephen Dunn back in the corner.
Our next match scheduled for the ring is going to be that unified world heavyweight title match with Jerry the King Lawler defending against dangerous Doug Gilbert. Ken got in there a little quick, and Stephen Dunn was waiting on him. Picks Raper up and moves him to the rope.
Sorry about that unified world title. Lawler fresh off a difficult title defense just 2 days ago. Doug Gilbert sees this as his opportunity to become the unified world champ. We'll have it for you right here minutes from now.
He went for the flying crucifix, took him down, got the pin. 1, 2, 3. And Stephen Dunn comes up victorious. We'll be back with the unified title in a moment.
Unified world title match coming up right here.
Right. We're looking at it, and we're talking about the King, Jerry Lawler, defending against dangerous Doug Gilbert. Unfortunately, he'll have Brandon Baxter at ringside, but Doug looking very confident today. He is so tickled he's got this title shot. Let's go to the ring. Introductions, Corey Macklin.
All right, Lance. Special television time today. Unified World Heavyweight Title Bout. Special TV time, a 1-fall, 30-minute time limit. First introducing 245 pounds. The challenger from Lexington, Tennessee, Dangerous Doug Gilbert. With Brandon Baxter, his opponent today, the Unified World Heavyweight Champion, 233 pounds, from Memphis, Tennessee, Jerry the King Lawler. 1 fall, 30 minutes in time.
Hey, Lance Russell, you've been around here a lot of years, and you've seen a lot of history, a lot of things go on. Well, you're in the making of some history right here today, because as sure as I'm Doug Gilbert, and I am 25 years old, I will walk right out of here the World Heavyweight Unified Wrestling Champion, and I might even take your big king's crown with me.
Well, you can't do it out here. You got to get in the ring for starters, Doug. He is really fired up today, Dave.
He is indeed, but oh, look out. He jumps the King from behind. Lawler. Maybe so. Lawler was getting his warm-up jacket and the unified belt out of the ring, and Doug jumped him from behind. He came after him there, hit him with a right fist. And another one knocks him off his feet. Lawler in the corner, in trouble. Back in the turnbuckle. Doug Gilbert grabs him by the throat. He's hit him 3 or 4 times with a fist already.
You're going to get disqualified if you don't quit choking him. Referee Bill Rush over there giving the warning to him right then and there. Lawler getting off. Jerry has had a history of starting slow for about as long as we've known the King. Brandon Baxter shooting that crutch right into the ribs,
Yep.
Dave.
Kept him slowed down until Gilbert got back. He's choking him with something.
But that tape.
Piece of tape, probably, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. He unwraps a little bit of that tape that he has wrapped around his wrist and uses it to choke. And then he tears it off and throws it out of the ring before the referee can do anything about it.
He's a tough son of a gun. Make no two ways about that one. Ask Brian Christopher. He's had some monumental battles with Doug Gilbert. Big backdrop, and Gilbert starting this match off very strong. It is a title defense. Gilbert saying that belt is as good as mine. Well, you haven't finished him yet. A lot of guys have thought they had Lawler and hadn't been able to do it. And there's the sunset flip. 1, 2, 3, got it. Oh, he talked too much.
Well, just what you were saying, Doug Gilbert was celebrating mighty early, and Jerry Lawler took advantage of a minor mistake, rolled him up for a 3 count, and it's over.
That didn't count. That didn't count. Start it over. He pulled my tire.
Oh, hey, he got a 1, 2, 3, Doug.
Start it over. That don't count.
What do you mean?
Sure it counts. It's over. You're not the champion. Lawler retains the belt. That's it. Doug nails Lawler anyway. Gilbert unhappy. He was just out-wrestled. That's all there was to it. The King, still the champion. Doug Gilbert nailed him again with that right fist. Lawler back in the corner. Referee Bill Rush telling Gilbert, hey, I don't know what you're doing here. This is over. The belt's not on the line.
He's sitting up there hollering about that doesn't count. He just slams Lawler down, middle of the ring. And Gilbert is excited as he was when he started the first match that he lost. And Lawler rolls him down. Small package, 1, 2, 3.
Well, if the belt had been on the line, Gilbert has just lost it twice here. Lost 2 chances at it.
No match. No match. No match. He pulled my hair in my chest.
Come on. Hey, you're ringing the bell.
I want one more try.
You want one more.
What,
Dave?
Well, Lawler is out on the ring apron now, though. Gilbert went to the tights. I think he's got something in his right hand. Lawler climbs back through the rope. Yeah, is that a chain?
Yeah, you've got something in your tights, too. You're right, Dave. He had either a metal bar. I didn't see the chain around his hand. I suspect he was shoring up that fist with that metal bar. There's a reverse atomic knee, and Lawler is back down in the middle of the ring. In between getting his shoulders counted 1, 2, 3, Gilbert has put some misery on Lawler today.
Yeah, he has. There's another one. A big right fist. Nails Lawler again. Back into the turnbuckles. Oh, but that woke him up. Boom. Look out, Mr. Gilbert.
Snap the strap, and that's what Lawler did. Pounds away with that right hand. Here comes Brandon Baxter into the ring. Hits him right in the back with that crutch.
Running across the ring. Look at that. He doesn't need crutches. Oh, Gilbert. Blast Lawler with one of them. Now using it to choke him. Oh, here comes Brian Lee. Oh, my goodness.
Iron Man Jimmy Harris. Crutch right at the throat. Now they've got both crutches in there.
It's 4 of them against Lawler. 4 out of the 2. Did you see Gilbert? He just nailed the referee.
He put that foot right.
Look at this.
Pile driver on referee Bill Rush. Hammers him down into the mat. That's going to end up costing him as they continue to choke and beat on. Here comes Randy Hales. Oh, Lawler just got wailed right in the back.
Randy said he's calling them off, and he's telling them right now, you touch either of them again, and you are suspended.
And Doug Gilbert grabs a crutch.
He's just suspended, Doug Gilbert.
Brian Lee and Jimmy Harris.
Doug Gilbert's out here. He's suspended.
Brandon, look at Gilbert now. He's been suspended by Randy Hales, and he took the crutch, hit the referee. Oh, I hope not.
What are you doing? Suspending my partner!
Well, I guess Gilbert figures he's got nothing to lose.
What is he doing?
Hey, he said don't touch him.
Conspiracy! Conspiracy!
Conspiracy. You guys make more excuses and come out with more reasons. And now they pull Gilbert out of the ring. Get him off. And now we've got Lawler, who was pounded around with that crutch. Referee Bill Rush, both of them, and Doug Gilbert, despite the warnings by Randy Hales, if you touch him one more time, you're suspended, and he has suspended Gilbert and gotten him out. That doesn't make Lawler or Bill Rush feel any better. We'll take a break, and we'll be back in just a moment. Better matches I've seen a long time tag-wise is Rock and Roll and PG-13. For those that weren't there, let's take a look and see what happened the last time.
Proud of the USWA. I have 300-pound wrestlers. 300-pound wrestlers trying to intimidate me. And if you think I'll let some stooge like you come in here and scare me out of a match, you got another thing coming, Mark Curtis, because I'm going to referee the match, and there's nothing you can do about it, I promise.
Come out and jump on Randy Hales just when he had to, and look at this, holding him for Curtis. Marvelous. Man, I am really surprised. Here comes PG-13. J.C. Ice goes to the wrong corner, backs his way up, makes the tag on Wolfie D. And look at the Wolfman go after him. Rick and Robert being pounded by Wolfie. Rick Martin head hammered into it. And Bill Rush knocked down. That leaves only Mark Curtis mobile, and J.C. Ice goes after Robert Gibson. A chain handed in by Andrea to Rick Martin. Wolfie D ducks under it. Picks Rick up, atomic knee. He's got the chain. Nails Rick, puts him down on the mat. Wolfie D covers him up. And Curtis outside grabs a hubcap and throttles Wolfie D. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, no.
No way. Come on. Curtis ends about himself by nailing Wolfie D right on the head with the hubcap. That's absolutely awful. No. Curtis nailed Wolfie with the hubcap, and then all of a sudden decided, hey, I'm referee. 1, 2, 3. And he gives the titles to Rock and Roll Express. Morton and Gibson walk out in 17:24 after Curtis counts out PG-13. Whoa! JC and Wolfie, they've got Mark Curtis. Come on.
mentioned that. Rock and Roll Express come in. By the time I mentioned I wanted PG-13 to get their hands on this Curtis.
And when they came in, they powdered J.C. Ice. And to add insult to injury, after Ricky got some powder in the eyes of Wolfie D, he took him over there, and Andrea powdered him. And now they're holding Bill Rush while Mark Curtis, back on his feet, gets ready to take a shot. Here comes Randy Hales with a hubcap, and he nails it. But Rick Morton nails Randy Hales. PG in the ring with the hubcap. Robert Gibson down. And PG saying, get back in here, you coward.
I'm here to talk about the truth. The truth is the USWA has been the longest running organization around the world. Everybody knows that. I'm also here to talk about the truth. The truth is that Smoky Mountain Wrestling is the hottest promotion around. You should know that by now. You've seen the Rock and Roll Express come in as NWA Tag Team Champions, and you've seen me come in as the troubleshooter referee. Randy Hales has a problem with this. The problem with it is that Memphis is old and Smoky Mountain is young. You know what you do with the old stuff? Sooner or later it withers up and it dies. Well, Randy Hales, you saw what happened last time. With me, the fair and partial referee, right there in the middle of the ring, I counted a fair 1, 2, 3. And then the Rock and Roll Express became the USWA Tag Team Champions and the NWA Tag Team Champions. So I'll tell you what, I dare you. Not only do I dare you, I double dog dare you. If you have the guts, I dare you to second PG-13. Be in their corner, because I'm going to be in the Rock and Roll Express's corner. And if you accept that there, which I think maybe you don't have the brains to do, but you may end up doing it anyway, if you get involved in this match, I prove to you what kind of a man I am. I prove to you that I am a world-class wrestler, that I am going to break your skinny arms if you get involved. Now let's have the Rock and Roll Express explain their side of the story.
You know, what you're looking at is the greatest tag team ever walked the face of the earth. Let me tell you something. Not only are we the world tag team champions, we went down to USWA, and what do? We walked away with this. So guys, anytime you want the Rock and Roll Express, just step on down.
That's right. Give them the facts about PG-13.
The fact is about PG-13, they stand behind Randy Hales. He thinks Randy Hales thinks they're the greatest tag team of all times. But remember one thing, we're coming back down there to defend these titles against you. And Randy Hales, I want you to know one thing. When we leave that arena, you and PG-13 will know what the walk of life is all about.
By any means necessary.
Oh, hey ho! This one to the expiration of our time. Combined weight of 422 pounds from parts unknown, the Yellow Jacket. And his partner from Los Angeles, California, Mr. World Class. Their opponents today, 397 pounds from the hood, JC and Wolfie, PG-13. Frank Morrell refereeing. Expiration of our time today on USWA Championship Wrestling.
Could be a good tag battle here with PG-13, Wolfie D and JC Ice going against the Yellow Jacket and Mr. World Class.
All right, here is Randy Hales. Randy, Mark Curtis and Rock and Roll had a bunch of things to say about you and your involvement in this match with PG-13.
Everybody knows that PG-13 have been USWA Tag Team Champion for about a year. Great tag team. How many times have you seen me interfere in the situation?
Well, you're right about that. And this Curtis, I don't know him personally, but just from watching his interviews and seeing how he interfered in the previous matches, I don't like him.
The big problem I have with Mark Curtis is he comes in from the NWA and Smoky Mountain Wrestling, running down the USWA, running down the wrestling fans and the great wrestlers that we have here, and then when he interferes and costs the great wrestlers like PG-13 or anybody here that wrestles for the USWA, we want them to have everybody to have a fair chance. He took that chance away from them, and then he gets physically involved, running his mouth about me. Look at him, or look at me. I'm 165 pounds, but he's about 125, and I promise PG-13 100% that they won't have to worry about Mark Curtis coming up this week. That's a promise.
Well, Mr. Curtis said he didn't feel like you would probably accept the challenge to be in the corner, but you already have. We've already told the fans you'll be there.
I'll definitely be there. PG-13 said they're going to grab me a brand new hubcap. I'll have that, and we'll see what happens coming up this week.
We'll see what happens this time around.
Excellent teamwork with PG-13, as they have shown the difference between two men going against a team. Mr. World Class at Yellow Jackets, and they're doing their thing, doing their best, but they just haven't been able to master the team aspect of it, having not wrestled together the way PG has.
PG-13 had a few comments about the upcoming match themselves.
Come to this, man. We lost our USWA Tag Team belt to the Rock and Roll Express, man. I don't even think I can face the people anymore.
That's all right, JC, because you know what? We didn't get beat, man. It was bogus, man. Everybody saw Mark Curtis hit me in the back of the head with a hubcap, man. But you know what? This week, Rock and Roll Express, we're going to be looking you right in the eye, man. And we got somebody on our side, see. We got Randy Hales to take care of that Mark Curtis, brother. So this week, we're coming to get our titles back, brother, and you can bet on it.
Yes, PG-13 interested in getting back in with the Rock and Roll Express.
And a victory here today while we were listening to what they had to say. Boy, what a day, huh?
We'll take time out. We'll recap it and see what's left. Splendid show today. 6 matches, including the King defending successfully his unified title.
Not once, but several times. Gilbert said, oh, no match. Come on. Now, of course, officially it was all over after the first time Lawler had retained the belt. But he ended up then getting a second pin, and then it would have, if it had been official, would have been a disqualification on Gilbert the third time. So, in a way, 3 successful defenses for the King.
Yeah, because Gilbert's the one that rang the bell over here. We got some action around the USWA. This isn't the only place you can see it. You can see it when it comes near your town. Let's take a look. Here comes Brandon Baxter into the ring. Hits him right in the back with that crutch.
Running across the ring. Look at that. He doesn't need crutches. Oh, Gilbert. Blast Lawler with one of them. Now using it to choke him. Oh, here comes Brian Lee. Oh, my goodness.
Iron Man Jimmy Harris. Crutch right at the throat. Now they've got both crutches in there.
It's 4 of them against Lawler. 4 of them and 2. Did you see Gilbert? He just nailed the referee.
He put that foot right.
Look at this.
Pile driver on referee Bill Rush. Hammers him down into the mat. That's going to end up costing him as they continue to... Continues to be an exciting week every week that rolls around. Son of Gun Dave, we'll look forward to it next week.
Be right here.
Okay, for Corey Macklin, Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.